Good evening, I'm Lexi Lepoff.
And I'm Sarah Donaldson. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. The state of Iowa has passed a law that prohibits transgender women from participating in women's sports in high schools and colleges across the state. It goes into effect immediately, meaning any transgender woman may be forced to quit. It's unclear how many students this affects in the state. Iowa joins a group of 10 other GOP-led states that have adopted such laws. Last year, a similar bill passed the Ohio House of Representatives, but it failed to progress from there. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds says she believes the law evens the playing field in women's sports.
But what would it say about a commitment to this principle if we let actual playing fields, the courts, fields, rinks, pools, and tracks of youth and collegiate sports be tilted in favor of biological males with inherent physical advantages? Today's bill ensures that this question will remain a hypothetical one. It requires schools at all levels to designate sporting events as male, female, or co-ed. Only students who are female according to their birth certificate will be eligible to compete in girls' sports. Nothing could be more straightforward and common sense.
The Ohio House passed a bill already approved in the Senate that will erase the need for permits to carry concealed weapons. The Republican-passed bill now goes to DeWine to sign. With 2 more months before the election, Republicans will have their eyes on Governor Mike DeWine to see what he does as he's up against 2 pro-gun GOP candidates in the gubernatorial primary. From his signing of the pro-gun Stand Your Ground bill last year and his support of the Strong Ohio plan that puts more control on guns, which was never passed, DeWine has been on both sides of this issue.
Nearly 2 years after Breonna Taylor's death, a Kentucky jury came to a decision today on charges stemming from the incident. Brett Hankinson was found not guilty on 3 counts of wanton endangerment. He was the only officer who faced charges as a result of the shooting. Hankinson was acquitted on 3 charges of wanton endangerment for firing shots that went into a neighboring apartment. Closing arguments were delivered earlier today before the judge handed the case over to the jury. Hankinson's lawyer said his client was relieved by the verdict.
I think it was absolutely the fact that he was doing his job as a police officer, and that's, I'm sort of at a loss for words right now, but I think absolutely Brett was, the jury felt like, you go out and perform your duty and your brother officer gets shot and you've got a right to defend yourself.
Hankinson is no longer with the Louisville Metro Police Department. Now over to Ashley with a look to the weather.
Hi everyone, right now we have a temperature of 37 degrees. Sunset was at 6:23, so a little over 15 minutes ago the sun set, and that'll just keep, our days will just keep getting longer as we keep going into the year. Humidity is at 40%, which is very dry. There is very little moisture in the air as of current. And then winds are blowing from the north-northwest at 7 miles an hour. Here are the regional temps right now, and as you can see, 29 all the way up in Newark, 32 in New Lexington, 37 in Athens, and 41 all the way down in Ironton, with clear skies to our southeast and some cloudy skies to our northeast and southwest. As we look at Athens tonight, 23 will be our low. Skies will clear as we continue to go into the night, and winds will be blowing from the northeast between 0 to 5 miles an hour. And our weekend highlights, beautiful weekend is expected ahead. Highs in the 70s, sun Saturday, and rain Sunday. Back on over to Sarah with news.
You're looking at live video from Kyiv, Ukraine, where it's just after 1:30 in the morning. As the Russian invasion of the country enters its 9th day, European countries are dealing with a massive refugee crisis. Isabella Rosales explains what the EU is doing to assist those fleeing from the violence.
More than 1 million people so far escaping the violence in Ukraine, according to the United Nations.
Ukrainians are very friendly. We don't want to have war. We don't want to have quarrels with somebody. We want just peace.
This as Russia continues its assault on key Ukrainian cities.
We have continuous shelling for 26 hours they are destroying our city.
Laying siege to Mariupol and tightening its control of Ukraine's south.
We do not have water supply, we do not have sanitary system, and we do not have heating.
One senior U.S. defense official says Russian forces have shown a willingness to hit civilian infrastructure on purpose.
Dozens have been killed, including children and women, and it's a nightmare.
Delegations from the two countries meeting again amid the violence. On the agenda, an immediate ceasefire, armistice, and creating humanitarian corridors for the evacuation of civilians.
It's awful. We are crying all the time. It's a hard situation.
There is no reason for this to be happening right now.
The European Union is now offering them temporary protected status. In Washington, I'm Isabel Rosales.
The second round of talks have begun between delegations from Russia and Ukraine. Delegations from both countries shook hands as they met today at an undisclosed location on Ukraine's border. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolak tweeted that the key issues being discussed on the agenda involve immediate ceasefire, armistice, and, quote, humanitarian corridors for the evacuation of civilians from destroyed or constantly shelled villages and cities, end quote. President Biden announced more sanctions today during a cabinet meeting focused on the administration's response to the Russian invasion. The most recent sanctions come after the president's State of the Union address on Tuesday, when he declared the U.S. and its allies would go after Russian President Vladimir Putin's associates.
Today I'm announcing that we're adding dozens of names to the list, including one of Russia's wealthiest billionaires, and I'm banning travel to America by more than 50 Russian oligarchs, their families, and their close associates.
The White House is asking lawmakers for $10 billion to help and support Ukraine. The funding would go toward additional humanitarian, security, and economic assistance for Ukraine and Central European partners. On Wednesday, the White House sent a formal request as a part of a $32.5 billion emergency funding request. The funding from this package was initially expected to focus on fighting COVID-19. However, the invasion of Ukraine has changed things. Lawmakers are in the middle of negotiations over the long-term funding deal and must reach an agreement by the March 11th deadline. State government in Ohio is also showing their support for Ukraine. Attorney General Dave Yost has asked the state's 5 public pension funds to pull out of $112 million worth of Russian-based investments. In addition, over the weekend, Ohio has become one of the first states to stop buying and selling Russian-made vodka. Yost says, quote, Russia's aggression must not be supported with the Ohio Capitol, particularly the retirement assets of Ohio public employees, some of whom are Ukrainian descent. Yost also says if all states did the same, billions would be taken from the Russian economy. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is already driving up oil prices. The national average price of gas is $3.72 a gallon. AAA says Illinois is averaging just over $4 a gallon, and in California it has reached $4.94. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell warned that the higher gas prices will magnify the high inflation in the U.S. economy. Coming up after the break, the White House announces how it plans to deal with COVID-19 going forward, and the return of a colorful Ohio University tradition. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
She had her own talk variety show in the early days of television, and she has been a hit in every venue through every decade in which she has worked in our business.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Betty White. Betty White, ladies and gentlemen.
PBS, the place I trust to tell my story. Don't miss it.
The Hardwood Heroes finale is officially here. It's been a long, eventful season. We look back on all the action with the reveal of our All Heroes and All Futures team. Who stood out as the TVC's top stars? Plus, It is the most important time of the year for Trimble and Waterford, as the state title is within reach. You don't want to miss it. Tune in Sunday night at 11 and Monday night at 6. Until then, we're reminding you to be heroic.
Take a sentimental journey back in time. It's the greatest music from the big band years.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga choo-choo? Yes, yes.
Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. I am Mr. Jackson, everything's okay. A-L-A-M-A-C-O, what a guy.
Masterpiece's innovative version of Around the World in 80 Days celebrates the 150th anniversary of this landmark book with new themes, characters, and stories. Please join us as we go behind the scenes with the cast and creators of this unbelievable tale to unpack all of their secrets in Around the World in 80 Days, Unpacking the Adventure.
March 9th will mark 2 years since the first confirmed COVID-19 case in the state of Ohio. The White House has announced a plan to help a return to normal life so you can do more of the things you miss. Amy Kiley reports on what it'll take to make that happen.
Do you remember this, and even this? The White House says you might get to enjoy some of those things again soon without having to worry as much about COVID-19. Here's the plan.
First, protect against and treat COVID. Second, prepare for any new variants. Third, prevent economic and school shutdowns. Fourth, vaccinate the world and save lives.
Let's break down those 4 items. Some pharmacies are preparing, quote, test to treat initiatives. They'll offer free COVID-19 tests. If you're positive, you'll go home with FDA-authorized antiviral medicine for free. If new variants emerge,
we are ready to deploy personnel and resources to quickly update the vaccines.
The White House wants you to be able to safely go to work and send your kids to school without shutdowns. And the U.S. continues a push for more COVID vaccinations worldwide. On top of that plan, officials are considering letting you fly without a mask. That mandate expires March 18th.
Transportation is another arena where I think a lot of us are looking forward to being able to put so many of these pandemic restrictions behind us.
The travel mask mandate might end.
When we see those numbers begin to drop to levels that show that safety can be had, now we all have to get there working together.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The end of the mask mandate in Athens comes just in time for the return of Green Beer Day. Newswatch reporter Olivia Roman was out and about and has more on what this year's Green Beer Day was like.
Knew some green dye in a beer would become such a celebrated holiday.
Green Beer Day!
Delicious. Food's great, beer's green. It's a great time.
On Green Beer Day, people are wearing green, drinking green, but not feeling green. Happy Green Beer Day!
With loosened restrictions, this year looks different than last.
We can only have 60 people in here, but now we can have like 145, which is our capacity, so it makes it a lot easier. Yeah, you can walk freely, no mask. It's a great time.
Green beer drinker Peyton Whitner loves it too.
It's really nice just to be able to not have to worry about waiting in line or wearing masks or anything. We can all be next to each other.
After 2 years of having to keep our distance, this year people are once again coming together around a simple concept.
Green beer! That's it! That's all. This is a fake holiday, and we love it!
In Athens, I'm Olivia Roman for Newswatch.
Coming up, take a listen to this story on the signs of hearing loss on National Hearing Day. That story's still ahead.
It's been a beautiful day in Athens, but what will this weekend look like? Find out more in my full forecast. But for now, let's take a look at stocks of local interest.
We're all living with too much toxic stress, emotional turmoil, and frustrating disruptions affecting every aspect of our lives. But it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Deepak Chopra shows us a path filled with inner peace, vibrant energy, and profound joy. Ancient wisdom combined with the latest in scientific research. Please join us for Deepak Chopra, your path to enlightenment.
The Hardwood Heroes finale is officially here. It's been a long, eventful season. We look back on all the action with the reveal of our All Heroes and All Futures team. Who stood out as the TVC's top stars? Plus, it is the most important time of the year for Trimble and Waterford, as the state title is within reach. You don't want to miss it. Tune in Sunday night at 11 and Monday night at 6. Until then, we're reminding you to be heroic.
Italy is without crowds, yet busy as ever. In kitchens and workshops, master artisans carry on age-old traditions.
We use this machine invented by Leonardo da Vinci.
The legacy of prior generations courses through their veins.
My family worked the glass since 1650.
Experience the passion that drives them.
What made me an artist? Love. Love.
Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr., Harvard professor, literary critic, filmmaker. He brings a singular passion to his historical journeys on PBS. Join me, Courtney B. Vance, as we explore the life and work of one of the leading chroniclers of the American experience, Henry Louis Gates Jr., Uncovering America.
Welcome back, everyone. Here is the surface analysis for today. And as you can see, there's not much going on. We have a high pressure system up to our north, which was the cause for the beautiful skies that we saw today in dry conditions. And this will just continue into tomorrow as well, as the high pressure system moves out and we have this low pressure system out to our west. So Friday as well as into Saturday, we'll have beautiful sunny skies and nice weather and temps up into the 70s on Saturday. But as we head into Sunday, the system will move through and bring us a bunch of rain. And then here is our hour by hour for tonight, 8 p.m., 38 degrees. It'll cool down to 30 by midnight. There'll be an active wind chill tonight, but it'll only bring the temperature down 2 to 3 degrees, so it's not too much of an impact. It will remain dry, and we'll have some calm northeast winds as well. Athens, tonight we'll have a low of 23 degrees. Winds are blowing from the northeast between 0 to 5 miles an hour, and as we continue to head into the night, skies will begin to clear as well. And lows will vary anywhere from the low 20s, even upper teens, to the upper 20s. 20 in Newark, 23 in Athens, 26 in Ripley, and 28 in Ironton, with clear skies to our east and cloudy skies to our west and southeast as well. As we look at the hour by hour for tomorrow, 8 a.m., 26, we'll have a rapid warm up to 44 by noon, almost a 20-degree warm up in a matter of 4 hours. We'll have calm east winds, and relative humidity will rapidly drop as these temps increase. I think it was anywhere in like the 20% of relative humidity, which means it is very, very dry outside and there's not much moisture in the air. High of 54 tomorrow, sunny skies as I mentioned, calm winds once again. And as we head into the evening hours for our Friday night, cloud cover will increase. Regional highs will vary from the upper 40s to upper 50s. 49 in Newark, 49 in New Martinsville, 51 in Marietta, 54 in Athens, and 57 in Ironton, almost reaching the 60-degree mark. And then sunny skies are expected for the entire region as well with that high pressure. As we move into the evening hours, 4 p.m. 52, and it'll cool down to 52 by 8. Those temps will drop, those calm winds will remain, and as I said, cloud cover will increase into the evening hours. Tomorrow in Athens, we'll have a high of 54. Okay, sorry for that, everyone, but like I said, the cloud cover will increase, and we'll have those calm winds. With, like I said, here is your 7-day forecast. 54 is what your high will be for tomorrow, 71 Saturday, 70 Sunday with rain, and then we'll have a cool down throughout the week. And back on over to Sarah.
Today marks World Hearing Day. Almost 50 million Americans suffer from some sort of hearing loss, according to the Hearing Loss Association of America. Mandy Gaither has what signs to look out for.
Millions of Americans are struggling with noise-induced hearing loss, where the inner ear is damaged by loud sound. It may be irreversible, but highly preventable.
A lot of people might think that losing your hearing is normal or a part of the aging process, and that's not necessarily true.
Audiologist Marquita Murkison says early signs of hearing loss include pain or discomfort in the ear, experiencing ringing or other noises. If people seem to be mumbling or you're having trouble listening in noisy situations or when more than one person is talking, those are all clues to get your hearing tested.
With hearing, you never want to wait to see if it gets better. You want to act as soon as you notice a difference.
Murkison says early detection is key to stop additional hearing loss. If there's a medical cause, it can also be treated. You can also be fitted for a hearing protection device or hearing aid. Since ear damage can happen at any age, there are things you can do right now to protect your hearing for a lifetime.
It's limiting your exposure to loud noise by wearing hearing protection, limiting the amount of time you spend in dangerous noise levels, and working in breaks for your ears so you're not exposed to loud noise levels for a dangerous amount of time.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Today, the World Health Organization is also launching a new global safe listening standard aimed at reducing risk of hearing loss during events like concerts and sporting events. The organization is urging venues to monitor sound and keep levels safe.
Coming up in sports, another busy weekend on the hardwood as high school playoffs are in full swing. The Ohio men's basketball team hit the road for their last MAC game of the year. But right after the break, the Ohio women's basketball team had a massive battle at the bricks at the Combo. How did CZ Hooks and company hold up against the Redhawks? Find out next. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your local public television station.
We're all living with too much toxic stress, emotional turmoil, and frustrating disruptions affecting every aspect of our lives. But it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Deepak Chopra shows us a path filled with inner peace, vibrant energy, and profound joy. Ancient wisdom combined with the latest in scientific research. Please join us for Deepak Chopra, your path to enlightenment.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. There's a meeting here tonight. There's a meeting here tonight.
A special celebration of American folk music on PBS.
Green, green is green, they say, on the far side of the hill.
Thanks to viewers like you, we've been able to tell America's stories on this PBS station. Help us continue to tell these stories now and for future generations by including this station in your charitable plans.
Supporting this PBS station through a gift in your will is easy. To find out more, call the number on your screen or visit this website. Thank you.
Public television brings back the magic moments from the 1950s.
Sincerely.
The McGuire Sisters, Pat Boone, Patty Page, Debbie Reynolds, and your favorite artists from the 1950s pop era.
Hello again, I'm Ethan Sargent. The Waterford Lady Wildcats have a huge high school basketball matchup tonight against the Bern Union Rockets in the regional semifinals. The Lady Wildcats have been one of the best teams in their division this year. They're ranked 6th statewide in Division 4, and the Rockets are ranked 7th. They split the TVC Hawking regular season title with the Trimble Tomcats, who are ranked 3rd in the state. To keep up with all the high school playoff hoops in the region, tune into the Hardwood Heroes finale on Sunday at 11 p.m. and Monday at 6 p.m. The Ohio women's basketball team is still in the hunt for a playoff spot after a huge game at the Convo against bitter rivals Miami last night. Ohio jumped out to an early 20-7 lead after coming out firing in the first quarter. But the biggest story from this one was that the Redhawks would not go down without a fight. Peyton Scott kept Miami in the game with her 23 points and 10 rebounds. Ohio would counter with its own star power. Cece Hooks dropped 23 points and pulled down 5 boards in her final home game as a Bobcat, and she was well supported by her teammates. Gabby Burris was hot from 3, and Yaya Felder provided a spark off the bench. Coach Bob Bolden said his squad is mentally prepared to attack the end of the regular season and get to Cleveland.
I don't need to spend a lot of time talking about the importance of opportunities to play basketball. They understand that, and I don't know if we'll make it to Cleveland next week or not, but it won't be because they didn't want to or they weren't trying. And that I'm certain of. I've never doubted that about them.
Next up for the Bobcats is a massive tilt against Kent State Saturday. The stakes are high as the winner of that game gets a spot in the MAC tournament next week. The Ohio men's basketball team is struggling at the wrong time as it heads into its final game of the regular season against Northern Illinois. The Bobcats struggled mightily in the loss Tuesday to Bowling Green, especially with shooting the ball. They shot just under 35% of their shots from the field and went 31% from 3. Tommy Schmock had an off-shooting night, hitting just 1 of 9 three-point attempts, and Jason Carter received a double tech after arguing a call with the officials. Ohio needs to be better on the other side of the floor as well. The Falcons hit half of their shots no matter what adjustments the Bobcats made defensively. Ohio has to tighten things up against the Huskies, who have an 8-21 overall record and 5-14 conference record. Coach Jeff Bull says his team has to be better over the next week if they want to achieve their goal of getting back to the NCAA tournament.
Like you just mentioned, you want momentum heading into the tournament. You want to be playing your best basketball. Last year we were playing our best basketball. My first year we were playing our best basketball. And, we got good kids. We got to watch tape, learn from it, and understand, like, it's a big game on Friday.
The Convocation Center plays host to the MAC Wrestling Championships this weekend. Hosts rotate every 12 years, so this is a great opportunity to watch some high-level wrestling in our backyard. All 12 teams in the MAC will be there, as Ohio sits 3rd in the West Division and 4th in the overall MAC standings. They want to capture their first MAC title since 2001. Central Michigan leads the conference and is certainly the favorite to take home the MAC crown, but don't sleep on those Bobcats, led by the Hagan brothers, to make a run. That's all for sports. Back over to you, Lexi.
Hi everyone. Actually, tomorrow in Athens, we'll have a high of 54 degrees and beautiful sunny skies as that high pressure remains over our area for tomorrow and well into Saturday. We'll have calm winds and cloud cover will begin to increase into the evening hours as well. As we look at the hour by hour for Friday night, 52 at 4 p.m. to 42 by 8 p.m. And like I said, those cloud coverage will increase with regional highs all the way up to 54 in Athens and 57 in Ironton. And then as we look into our 7-day forecast, we'll get into the 70s this weekend with 71 on Saturday and 70 on Sunday. So yeah, guys, it's a really beautiful day out.
Yeah,
I'm expecting a really nice weekend, although we'll get that rain Sunday.
It sounds like it'll be a great weekend for hiking.
I'm honest.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Lexi Lepal.
And I'm Sarah Donaldson. Stay tuned for the PBS News Hour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.